Let me share screen for you. All right, can you see now?
Yeah.
Now with this one, just begin. Make a sentence with the vocabulary here.
Yes, mm, I want to make a lot of money uh, to um, to take care of my baby.
Okay.
Give her a lot of. I give her have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hockey is one of the sports that I really like. So I am a fan of hockey.
Ooh, that's good. You combine hockey and fan into one sentence. That's really good. What about game?
Uh, Game I like when I was young. I like play game.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah, I like the game in the computer.
Mm-hmm.
I want to.
Um, just keep saying.
I want my baby will be successful because it is my happiness,
Mm-hmm.
my life.
Okay, and this structure.
It is so hard.
It is
To,
too hard to.
to learn English.
Okay, that's really good. You remember the lesson very well, and you can combine the vocabulary together. That's really good of you. But next time, remember when you talk about the past, please use the past tense. Yeah, you said when I was a child, I liked playing video games. Okay, remember with the.
Yeah.
So that's enough for reviewing the old lesson. Now we move to the new lesson today. We will study about hobby.
Yeah.
Hobby. So please tell me what is your hobby?
Um, my hobby is listen to music and
Mm.
um, go shopping.
Oh, shopping. That's fun.
And go out with my family.
Okay, go out with your family. That's really nice. How often do you go shopping?
Um, when I still work, I usually go. I usually shopping um, when I still work. I shopping about once a week in the
Mm-hmm.
at at the weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay. So now you don't work anymore?
Now I still at home because I have ever get a baby.
So you just gave birth and now you
Yeah,
stay at home to take care of your children.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So how long will you stay at home? When will you go back to work?
I have maternity leave about 6 months.
Okay, six
Yeah,
months. So may I ask you what is your job?
I am stuck in with Jet Air.
Oh, with Jet Air. Wow. So
Yeah.
like you were a salesman or what position in the company?
Now I schedule for aircraft.
Ah, like you arrange the schedule.
Yes, arrange the
Okay,
schedule. Yeah.
okay, I understand. So why do you want to learn English?
I want to learn English to join the IELTS test.
Ah,
Yeah, because I want to change my job.
oh, okay. So is the job stressful?
Yeah, I want to change my job to the air traffic management.
Okay, manage. Okay,
Do you know the tower in the airport?
tower in the airport? Not really, sorry.
So I want to work in there.
Ah, okay. So like it is still in airline industry, but different job, right?
No, I want to work in in việc nhà nước.
So like public company.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, kind like that. Okay, I understand. Okay. So now let's move to our topic today.
yeah,
This one vocabulary first. This one, when you see the picture here, and then you know the meaning of this word, railroad.
railroad,
Rail.
rail,
Railroad.
railroad.
Yeah. So railroad is this one. The line, the railroad line that the train goes on. That is the railroad.
Yeah, I know
And
this.
here, sailing.
Yeah, sailing,
Sailing.
sailing.
Hmm. Sailing is an activity um, that people, sit on the sailboat and go around on the sea.
Yeah,
So actually, the meaning of sailing is đi thuyền, đi du thuyền.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, costume.
Custom,
Costume.
custom,
Ừ. Cái chữ U này mình nó dài ra một xíu thôi. Nó không phải là costume mà là costume.
custom,
Okay, costume là
custom,
y phục.
custom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Là y phục. Nó cũng giống như clothes nhưng mà costume nó không phải là general clothes, nó là một cái loại trang phục đặc biệt nào đó mà mình mặc vào những dịp đặc biệt, kiểu như là national costume là y phục quốc gia, quốc phục.
yeah.
Okay. Here, so.
Show,
So bình thường thôi, không 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 phải sờ nặng đâu. So.
show,
So.
show.
Là may vá.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So this is our story today. I want you to hear, no, to read first, and then we will hear the recording.
I read first.
Yeah, now just read. I give you 30
Yeah.
seconds to read.
Yeah. A lot of people have hobbies. Hobbies are interesting things that people like to do in their spare
Spare.
spare time. My father has a hobby. He has a model railroad set that he put together.
Okay.
A tiny electric train runs through make-believe village and travels through tunnels and over mountains.
Okay, that's good. But then I want you to hear a native speaker speak and then compare with your talk to find the mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear.
Hobbies. A lot of people have hobbies. Hobbies are interesting things that people like to do in their spare time. My father has a hobby. He has a model railroad set that he put together. A tiny electric train runs through make-believe villages and travels through tunnels and over mountains.
Okay. Now we listen again.
Hobbies. A lot of people have hobbies. Hobbies are interesting things that people like to do in their spare time. My father has a hobby. He has a model railroad set that he put together. A tiny electric train runs through make-believe villages and travels through tunnels and over mountains.
All right, so now please read it again and translate it into Vietnamese, please.
Yeah, a lot of people have hobbies. Hobbies are interesting things that people like to do in their time, their spare time.
Mm-hmm.
My father has a hobby. He has a model
A model.
railroad set that he put together. A tiny electric train runs through make-believe village and travels through tunnels and over mountains.
Okay, please now translate into Vietnamese.
Phần lớn con người thì đều có những cái sở thích riêng. Sở thích là những cái điều mà điều thú vị mà họ thích làm trong cái khoảng thời gian
rảnh
của họ. It's the same meaning with the free.
Yes.
Free time.
Yes. Yes, it's the same meaning. And then I want to say something about spare time. So spare time and free time and leisure time is the same. Leisure, this is how we write it. Leisure time, spare time, and free time is the same.
Leisure time.
Okay. So now move on. This one.
Bố của tôi thì cũng có cái sở thích. Anh ấy là một người mẫu.
No, he has a model railroad set. This means là ông ấy có một cái set là một cái bộ đường sắt, một cái mô hình đường sắt đó. Một cái set là một cái bộ, railroad là đường sắt và model là một cái mẫu,
cái mẫu đường sắt.
Đúng rồi, một cái dạng như là một cái trò chơi đường sắt thu nhỏ ấy, một cái mô phỏng á. Thì ở đây mình có thể dịch là ông ấy có một cái bộ đồ chơi đường kiểu vậy mà ông ấy lắp ghép lại với nhau, put together, lắp ghép, lắp ráp. Okay, so câu này please dịch lại giùm em.
Những cái tàu điện nhỏ chạy qua những ngôi làng.
Những ngôi làng này mình có thể dịch make believe là giả tưởng á. Kiểu nó cũng là những cái model luôn.
Những ngôi làng giả tưởng và đi qua những cái
tunnel là đường hầm.
Hoặc là đi qua núi.
Đúng rồi, okay, that's good. Now we practice each sentence together. Okay, just take note. Alright, so now we practice the first here.
Hobbies. A lot of people have hobbies. Hobbies are interesting things that people like to do in their spare time.
Okay, please say it again.
A lot of people have hobbies. Hobbies are interesting things that people like to do in their spare time.
Okay, you speak this one really good. But there's one thing interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting things.
Interesting things.
No, not interesting. It's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, the stress syllable is the first one. Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting things, right?
Interesting thing.
Mm-hmm. So now I will ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Who have hobbies?
A lot of people have hobbies.
Okay. What do a lot of people have?
A lot of people have hobbies.
Mm-hmm. Do a lot of people have friends?
Pardon? Collection not good.
Okay. Do a lot of people have friends?
Have
Friends.
friend.
Friends.
Friend.
Yeah.
A lot of people have hobbies.
Okay. So what with that question, you have to say no first, and then you say, I ask you, do a lot of people have friends?
Yeah.
And then you answer, no, they don't. A lot of people have hobbies.
Yeah.
Okay, just based on the content of the sentence here. Thì mình chỉ dựa vào nội dung của bài học hôm nay để mình trả lời thôi. Ha. Ở đây
Yeah.
người ta nói có sở thích thì khi mà được hỏi là có bạn bè thì mình sẽ trả lời là không.
Yeah.
Okay. So do a lot of people have friends?
No, they aren't. They don't.
Okay.
A lot of people have hobbies.
Okay, good. What are hobbies?
Hobbies are interesting things that people like to do in their spare time.
Okay. Do people do interesting things in their busy time?
Do people
Do people do interesting things in their busy time?
in their
Busy time.
busy time? Yeah. No, people like to do interesting things in their spare time.
Okay, that's really nice. Okay, so what are interesting things?
Interesting things are the hobbies.
Okay, that's good. Interesting things are hobbies. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies.
Okay, good. Okay, now we move to the second sentence. Let's hear.
Yeah.
My father has a hobby. He has a model railroad set that he put together.
Please say it.
My father has a hobbies. He has a model railroad set that he put together.
Okay, so this one, model railroad set, it's a phrase. So
Yeah.
you should say it continuously. Mình
Yeah,
nên
yeah.
nói là a model railroad set thay vì là a model railroad set. Thì cái
Yeah.
cụm nó sẽ bị tắt. Okay, now please say it again.
My father has a hobby. He has a model railroad set that he put together.
Okay, that's really nice. Now move to the questions. Who has a hobby?
My father has a hobby.
Okay, what does my father have?
My father has a model railroad set. Sorry, my father has a model railroad set that he put together.
Okay. Does my father has Does my father have a friend?
No, my father has a hobby.
Okay. What does he do with a model railroad set?
He he has a model railroad. He has a model railroad set that he put together.
Okay, so with this question, you just say he put it together,
Yeah.
right? I asked you what does he do with the model railroad set? So you answer he puts together.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Um, who have a model railroad set?
My father has a model railroad set.
Do I have a model railroad set? Again.
No, my father has a model railroad set.
Okay. Does my father have a hobby?
Yeah, my father has a hobby.
Okay, that's good. Now please practice each sentence with me. My father has a hobby.
My father has a hobby.
He has a model railroad set that he put together.
He has a model railroad set that he put together.
Okay, now we move to this one.
Yeah.
A tiny electric train runs through make-believe villages and travels through tunnels and over mountains.
Please say it again.
A tiny electric train runs through make-believe village and travels through tunnels and over mountains.
Okay, so this one, you should say runs.
Runs.
Runs. And what was it? And this one, villages.
Village.
Yeah. No, with village, we say village.
Village.
And then add an S, we say villages.
Village.
Yes, villages.
Village.
Remember, just chỉ nhớ là xì ra ở phía sau á.
Yeah.
Villages.
Villages. Yeah.
Villages, okay. And travels.
Travel.
Tunnels.
Tunnels.
Mountains.
Mountains.
Okay. So now please practice again.
A tiny electric train runs through make-believe villages.
Villages. Yes.
And travels through tunnels and over mountains.
Okay, that's good. Make believe here. Oh, I told you about it, right? Make believe is giả tưởng, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now I ask you some questions. Okay, so how many places does a tiny electric train go through?
How many? Pardon?
How many places does a tiny electric train go through?
Tiny.
This one. I asked you how many places does the train run through?
Oh. Um. Uh, there are three places. Three places.
Yeah, you just say 3 places. Okay, 3 places. Does the train go through a village and a bridge?
And
A bridge.
no, the train run through make-believe villages and travel through tunnel and over mountains.
Okay. What runs through make-believe villages?
A tiny electric train runs through make-believe villages.
Okay. Um, Is the train tiny?
Yeah, the tiny electric train.
Is the train huge? Huge, that means big.
No, the train is tiny.
Okay, it's tiny. Does it climb over the tunnels?
No, the train run through tunnels.
Okay. Um, does the train travel over a mountain?
No, the train. Oh yeah, the train travel over the mountains.
No, I asked you the train travel over a mountain. But this one is mountains.
Yeah.
So you say no is correct. Alright, so I ask you again. Does the train travel over a mountain?
No, the train travel over mountains.
Okay, good. Alright, so now we move to the second story. Here, let's hear it first.
Yeah.
My father enjoys sailing. He has a real sailboat that he takes us out on. He is teaching me how to sail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. Sorry. We have to listen the whole story first. Let's hear.
Father enjoys sailing. He has a real sailboat that he takes us out on. He is teaching me how to sail. I like to collect. I collect comic books, stamps, and coins. I trade comic books with some of my friends, and sometimes I buy comic books at stores. Some of the very old comic books are worth a lot of money.
Okay. So this one is a long story. Please translate it into Vietnamese.
Yeah. Um, my father also enjoys sailing. He has a real sailboat that he takes.
Sailboat.
Sailboat.
No, it's not boat. It's sailboat.
Oh, sailboat
Yes.
that he takes us out on.
Mm-hmm.
He is teaching me how to sail.
Okay.
I like to collecting things. I collect comic books, stamps, and coins.
Mm-hmm.
I trade comic book with some of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I buy comic book at stores.
Mm.
Some of the very old comic books are worth a lot of money.
Okay. And now translate into Vietnamese.
Bố của tôi cũng thích ờ, đi
Đi
lại
du thuyền.
đi du thuyền.
Ừ.
À, ông ấy cũng có một
Thuyền
cái xe
buồm.
thuyền buồm
Ừ.
ở, ở bên ngoài, và ông ấy cho chúng tôi lên đó.
Ừ.
Ông ấy cũng dạy tôi cách lái thuyền.
Okay.
Tôi thích sưu tập, tôi thích những
Sưu
sưu tập
tầm đồ vật.
sưu tập những đồ vật, và tôi sưu tập comic book. It mean
Truyện tranh.
yeah.
Yes.
Tôi sưu tập những bộ truyện tranh,
Ừ.
tem và tiền xu.
Okay.
Tôi sưu tập cái
Trade
bộ
that
truyện.
means bán.
Yeah.
Ừ.
Tôi bán những bộ truyện tranh cho một vài người bạn của tôi,
Ừ.
và thỉnh thoảng thì tôi mua những cái bộ truyện tranh này ở tiệm.
Ừ.
Một vài cái bộ truyện tranh cũ thì
Đáng giá.
thì rất là đáng giá rất là nhiều tiền.
Okay, that's nice. That's really good. Now we practice each sentence.
Yeah.
The first one.
sailing. He has a real sailboat that he takes us out on. He is teaching me how to sail.
Okay, so say it.
My father also enjoys sailing. He has a real sailboat that he takes us out on. He
Okay.
is teaching me how to sail.
Okay. You say very good with your, but you're quite slow because you're trying to make it right. So after the class, please practice again so you can speak faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I ask you some questions. Um, who also enjoys sailing?
My father also enjoys sailing.
What does my father also enjoy?
My father also enjoys sailing.
Does he also enjoy swimming?
No, my father also enjoys sailing.
Okay. Do you enjoy sailing?
No, I'm very scared sailing.
Okay. Okay. What does he have?
He has a real sailboat.
Okay. Um, does he have a fake sailboat?
No, he has a real sailboat.
Okay. Um, who does he take out on?
He takes us on
He take us
out on.
out on. Okay. Um, is he teaching me how to sail?
Yeah, he is teaching me how to sail.
What is he teaching me?
He is teaching me how to sail.
Okay. Is he teaching me how to swim?
No, he is teaching me how to sail.
Okay. Now we go to the second sentence here.
I like to collect things. I collect comic books, stamps, and coins.
Okay, say it.
I like to collect things. I collect comic books, stamps, and coins.
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 Mhm. I like to collect things. I collect comic books, stamps, and coins.
I like to collect things. Collect comic. I collect comic books, stamps, and coins.
Okay. Now I ask you some questions. What do I like?
I like to collect things.
What do I collect?
I call. What do I collect? I collect comic books, and stamps and coins.
Okay. How many things do I collect?
There are three things I collected.
What are they?
They are. I collect comic books,
Yes, come. They are also good.
stamps, and coins.
Okay. Do I collect history books?
No, I collect comic books.
Okay. Do I um, do I collect stamps and coins?
Yup, I collect stamps and coins uh, and comic books also.
And comic books.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the connection is slow. Does my son collect comic books?
No, my I collect comic books.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, the connection is so slow. I cannot hear you. Okay, you did very good with this one. Now we move to this third sentence here.
I trade comic books with some of my friends, and sometimes I buy comic books at stores.
Okay, so
Yeah. I trade comic books with some of my friends, and sometimes I buy comic books at store.
okay. I trade comic books with some of my friends. Please say it again.
I trade comic books with some of my friends,
And sometimes I buy comic books at stores.
and sometimes I buy comic books at stores.
Okay. Now, what do I do with comic books?
I trade comic books with some of my friends.
Okay. Who do I trade comic books with?
I trade comics book with some of my friends.
Okay. Do I trade comic books with all of my friends?
No, I trade comic book with some of my friends.
Okay. Do I trade comic books with my neighbor?
No, I trade comic books with some of my friends.
Okay. Where do I buy comic books?
No, I don't buy comic book. I trade comic books. Also, sorry. I buy comic books at stores.
Okay. Okay. Do I buy comic books at the supermarket?
No, I buy comic books at store.
Okay. Um, do I often buy comic books?
No, I sometimes buy books at stores.
Okay. Who sometimes buy comic books?
I sometimes buy comic books.
Okay, that's nice. Now we move to the next sentence. Okay, now listen.
Some of the very old comic books are worth a lot of money.
Please say it.
Some of the very old comic books are worth a lot of money.
Okay. Some of the very old comics are worth a lot of money.
Some of the very old comic books are worth a lot of money.
Okay, so I want to tell you about this word, worth.
Worth?
Worth.
Worth.
That means có giá trị. Có
Yeah.
giá trị. Cái gì đó thì ở đây worth a lot of money có nghĩa là có giá trị của nó là rất nhiều tiền ha. So mình có thể chữ worth mình có thể cộng với một danh từ worth something, và chữ worth cũng có thể cộng với động từ thêm in. Ví dụ như là worth studying. Maybe ví dụ như là English is very important. It is worth studying.
Perfect. Yeah.
Can you understand how it works here?
Yeah.
Okay, so now can you give me one example with what?
Worth. It is worth study English.
Studying.
Studying English.
Studying.
Yeah.
It's worth studying English. It's not, nó không phải là study không mà là nó là studying ha chị.
Yeah,
Study
studying
culture,
English.
like yeah, what studying English. Okay, now I ask you some question about this. Um, what is worth a lot of money?
Some of the very old comic books are
Okay,
worth a lot of money.
okay. How much are some of the very old comic books? Okay, I ask again.
Yep.
How much are some of the very old comic books worth?
Some of the very old comic books are worth a lot of money.
Okay, okay. Um, are all the very old comic books worth a lot of money?
Some of the very old comic books are worth a lot of money.
Okay, okay, that's nice. Now we move to this one. Let's check if you remember the story. Please say it if you remember it.
a lot
Just, uh-huh.
a lot of people have hobbies.
Okay,
Hobbies are uh, the favorite things that people like to do in spare time.
okay. This one is interesting. Interesting thing.
It are interesting things.
Okay, that's this one.
Uh, my father my father has a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
He has uh, a railroad.
Three word. Model.
He
Railroad.
has a model railroad set
Pet.
that
That he what? He put together.
yeah, that he put together. A
Okay. This
tiny
one?
electric train run through uh, run through
Seattle.
uh, make believe village and village and travel through a tunnel and over mountains.
Okay, good. This one next.
My father also
Enjoy.
i- my father also enjoys sailing. He
Mhm.
has a real sailboat